Good morning, one and all. I heartily welcome you all to another RDS session in Ratna Kits Engineering College, Ramchandrapuram. Let me introduce myself to you. I am Kala, Assistant Professor of English from the Department BSNH. I heartily congratulate all the PhD students, nursing students and B.Pharmacy students for attending another RDS session. I hope this session will enlighten you, and I request our Controller of Examinations, sir, to kindly grace the seat on the dais. And I heartily invite our Director of Operations. Now let me invite our beloved Chief Guest, Mr. M.S. Chakravarti Garu, to kindly grace the seat on the dais, and I request our beloved student Gayatri to kindly honor sir with a token of gratitude. I heartily invite the Director of Operations of Kits Engineering College, Ramchandrapuram, Pawan Kumar sir, to kindly honor the seat on the dais, and I request Kumari Akasha to kindly felicitate sir with a token of gratitude. Now let me invite the Controller of Examination, Ramara sir, to kindly honor the seat on the dais, and I request Shakira Begum to kindly honor sir with a token of gratitude. It's a turn of mine to invite our Administrative Officer of Kits Engineering College, Ramchandrapuram, Mr. Being an Australian permanent resident, he travels frequently between the two countries. He has completed his B.Tech in Electronics and Computer Science Engineering from Konuri Lakshmaya College of Engineering. He has a master's degree in Information Technology, specializing in Business Analytics from the prestigious Swinburne University, Melbourne, Australia. He also has a law degree from the Victoria University, Melbourne, Australia. He is an Australian immigrant lawyer and is the only one available in the entire India to most of his clients. His service to the students has helped over 20,000 students to be placed in the best of schools across various countries around the world. He has trained students for the past 16 years and is loved by many students. He has set up an organization in Vijayawada to make sure all the students are guided in the right way. He loves traveling and motorbike riding and is also a phenomenal cricketer. He is the founder of Amravati Cricket Club in Vijayawada, which has 150 active players in the club. Surely it will be a refreshing session, I hope. And today, Kits Engineering College, Ramchandrapuram holds the immense honor of having today's speaker come chief guest, none other than M.S. Chakravarti Garu, the Managing Director of Career Baba. We are lucky to have you with us, sir, today. And I hand over the session, and the mic is all yours. Thank you.
All right, lovely morning to all of you. Thank you for spending this wonderful time to come down and for being such a lovely crowd and for valuing my time. And I thank each and everyone who's in this room from the bottom of my heart that you students always make me special because you take me back to my college days whenever I used to study. But I was not as good as you were. But I'll tell you how the journey of life will be for students in this room. So I think we have people, the students who are into nursing background, pharmaceutical background, and do we have anybody else? B.Pharm. Okay. Beautiful. Now, before I get into anything, what am I doing, who am I, is something that you have to know. I think you already have got some basic introduction about myself. So that is my organization that I started about 10 years ago in India to actually be more available in India. That was the real idea. So Career Papa is an organization that actually provides the best university selection process for different kinds of specializations, be it any degree that you are studying, to set it overseas, or also to help you to get your careers in India. Now let's talk about what are the opportunities in the world. And apart from that, not just about opportunities, everybody comes into this room, or maybe you would have had seminars that people talk about how to write a resume or how to do other things. And let's not keep this more boring, I'll keep it more innovative. Let's talk about a beautiful journey of life that I had, a beautiful journey that was really, everybody could see the roses, but I'll tell you what are the hardships that you will face in your career, because college life is always memorable because you're sitting in the classrooms, enjoying the jokes and we're getting home, but once they're out of the college, it's totally a different life story. Okay? So now what am I? They've already told you. I've done a Bachelor of Technology, Computer Science and Electronics from KLCA. I think I graduated about 16 years ago. And I've also done a Master's in IT and I worked in the IT field. I worked for Defense Australia as well. We did various projects. So I just got bored of that and just started my career in law. And then I've become an immigration lawyer. And then I've also set up immigration is nothing but visas, how to go to different countries and everything. There is a special kind of law that we have to study and that takes really hard time in Australia. Now, can you play that? Okay, now, before we get into anything, okay, let's keep simple things. Some beautiful quotations that actually inspired me all my life. Okay, why did I become successful? How could you become successful? How can we become ethical in this life is something that we have to learn. So, out of so many people, okay, I am actually, as I told you, as an immigration lawyer, as a migration agent, I am one of the most successful and the only practicing person who is available in India frequently. I travel a lot between India and Australia, but I am available frequently in India, and a lot of people come down for my appointments, and people spend a lot of time with me and try to get my appointments, which is very hard, but I prefer to give time to you students so that I can actually give them some valuable information that they do not find with speakers who come from different companies. Not okay. I will never say that your gurus, your teachers are lesser than us, because ultimately they are the ones who guide you. But I am someone who's walked in your path, who has seen your life like you have seen, and what I have faced, what I thought life would be easier to go, and what I have faced and how it was is what I want to show you today. Now, before we get into anything, the first important thing, certain rules that I followed was I became successful was, remember this in your life, okay? The point first is tell the problem you solve, not the product you have. So this is one basic mistake why I have seen so many people in their lives just earn salaries but not be happy. The reason is because they just simply, try to give something that they do not have and forget what they really are made for. So ultimately, I can ask what I'll have this session is more important is we'll have some conversations as well. Now, let us suppose all of us have finished our education and we have processed to the front. After 10 years, okay, let's suppose after 10 years, everybody will be close to 30. If I ask you, what is the goal in your life? Can somebody tell me, somebody give me random answers? What is your goal in life after 10 years? Anybody? Let's have it, let's speak out. What is your goal? You can be loud, it's okay, it doesn't matter. You can be even nonsense, it doesn't matter. You just sit at home, eat, it's still fine. You can have goals. Does anybody have a goal? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Okay. Can anybody tell what is, somebody has a very solid goal. Can anybody tell what is your goal? One or two people in the room. Anyone? Or shall I pick someone? Okay. The middle row, fifth. Someone in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth in the center. What is your goal? Let's be fine. See, I'll tell you, we've got some important points at the bottom as well. Yeah, what is the goal? You get a job. Okay. Boys. Okay, I can see this guy with the patch on his hair. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Let's have a smile. What is your goal? Job. Okay. How many of your goal is to get a job? Hands up. How many of your goal is to get a job? Let's have this interaction here. Come on. What is there? See, the biggest thing is like the failure. The failure comes here. I tell you how many people become successful. Put your hands up. How many of you dream about getting a job? No matter what. Yes or no? How many of you want to get a job? So how many of you want to have a dream to get a job? Okay, now fine enough. So this is what happens or what has happened during my college days. How successful people come out. Now let's talk about the second important thing. I'll make it interesting. Did I have to change? Life is tough, so you are. So a statement that I'll tell you is, guys, in the future, you will go through a lot of things. Education, college is the easiest thing in life. And when the exams are hard, forget the exams, you've got tougher exams in life. So what will happen is, you will have to remember my words for the rest of your life, which will actually say, oh my God, he was right, because the circus outside is very hard for all of us, Okay? Now life is not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving. One of my inspiring things is, every day you get up with a dream, every day you get up with something, you think, okay, I'll achieve something, I'll be very successful, but something goes very wrong. At that moment, what you have to do is, you have to restart. One of the biggest statements of life is restart. You fall hundreds of times. I'm standing in front of you today because I wanted to give up a million times, but every evening while I was thinking, no, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to restart again. All of you will see this could be the smallest thing, but that will actually happen. Now let's talk about important things of life. Now I told you why a lot of people in this room have not put their hands up. Okay. The real failure of Indian people that I've seen, guys, you're listening to a person who has spoken to close to maybe around 20 to 30 lakhs of students by this time. You're seeing a person who has traveled more than 70, 80 countries and sitting in this room trying to actually motivate or inspire you by even 1% so that I can influence your life. So you might think, okay, this guy has come, he's like the leader guy. Don't take me that way. Because you're not sitting in front of a person who is not just small, but I need to say that I've seen many things in life. I have trained, educated people across the globe, and I have made sure that one of the real failure of life is not putting your hands up. I mean this. I've seen many people who have not put their hands up, not be that successful. So always do remember, when you get a chance, you have to always take it. Okay, do remember this. Now, the most important things of life that I will say you have to follow is communication. Now, what I said is communication. What is the meaning of communication? The meaning of communication, guys, in your life, in your education system, or with your careers, or anything, the most important thing that you have to follow is that whatever comes to your mind, if you think you have to communicate, you have to communicate. Relationships, money, bonds, friendship, relationships between friends or anything could be spoiled only the thought of not communicating properly. I've seen this. Companies have collapsed, teams have been smashed, friendships have died, relationships have ended, all because of a simple thing called communication. So I'll tell you a very good joke. Okay, I was also like more, I think you were very less, I was more notorious because I came from a very dangerous college in the past, everybody knows. So while I was studying engineering, I was always, we were like, we always had these fights. We used to do motorbiking, we used to play, we used to do all these kind of things. So during my final year, I remember, fourth year, first semester, this is the first point that we are seeing today is about communication. I tell you the importance of communication, and that single thing that changed my understanding of life, that changed my understanding of communication, that increased my life by 90%, and I was always there. Okay, now I'll tell you what happened. So 4-1, let's have this beautiful story that happened during my engineering days. So 4-1 was almost completing. So I had one of my friend. Okay. If you have any lecturers, this is a story that might be a little rude, but it's okay. But I have to tell them because I'm pretty open to facts. So I had a friend. I was studying electronics and computer science, and there was a guy from civil engineering who liked the girl from computer science engineering. Okay. So always being the guy who used to take up things, and I was always standing in front. I had no fear, even to this day, no fear. He said, Chakra, I want to propose with you. Okay, fine. Now, what is the plan? He said, no, we have that big college, we have these trees in between the two departments. So how do you plan? I said, okay, let's make it romantic. I'll get some chocolates, we'll get some flowers, and we will make sure that she will accept, she knows that you are looking at each other and all this stuff. So, okay, so me and my other two friends planned this, got some costly chocolates. You know, those days spending 500 was our whole 2-3 days of life, petrol and everything. So eventually we sacrificed the money and we went in, we got the flowers, we got the chocolates, and this guy is waiting for the girl, and I was the one who went into the classroom, you know, said a lie to the teacher and got this girl outside. Just imagine how hard it is. So somehow I convinced the teacher, the girl came out. So this guy was waiting here behind like those 10 coconut trees this side, so there was a way, like the way you have here. So we were so excited waiting behind the coconut tree. So just waiting for this guy. So eventually the girl arrived, and this guy with the flowers and chocolates in his hands. The first thing we were like, oh my God, I'm so proud. I'm going to make someone the boyfriend, girlfriend, yes. And then he starts to say, and then my heart started skipping, and he's not able to speak. He's like, again, hey, chup, we were saying, and he's like, and then I understood something is going to go wrong, and I was the one who got this college, a girl out of the class, and that is going to be the end of my story. Then I said, oh, tell fast. He said, and the fourth time the girl said, Chippanaya. And I don't know how far I ran. I was running and running all my life till then till now. So, first we had the fear. We ran, we were sitting, we were behind the canteen, and we laughed for 1 hour. And then, I'm telling you how important it is when you are given an opportunity. So eventually a lot of things happened, and thank God I was saved, because he didn't propose eventually. So the communication part actually ruined the whole thing. So he did not put up his hand, he did not say that at that point of time. So that was something that always had an impression in my life. It's a joke that actually transformed life. So it's very important. Tomorrow someone might ask me something. You know what happens? All these people are sitting here. So back in 2010, after finishing my master's in Australia, so we had a group of our students, all of us sitting from different countries, like 195 different countries. We were sitting in a seminar hall like this. 4,000 people were sitting, and you know what was the question? Okay, how many of you want to do a job now? Everybody was scared. I put my hand up. You know what happened? I got a job straight away. They hired me then, and their opportunities, don't know how they come. I might have given a job today for someone, it's a different story. But that is what has happened, and from then I never looked back in my life. So sometimes opportunities come, and that is when you have to communicate. Communicate doesn't mean you have to simply not talk anything. Simply you have to, there is a chance you have to take it. That is communication. Communication is trying to give the information. Always be there. Life will lock your door, and once you think, it's past, you will miss it. And something I will talk about all of you is travel. Travel, the word is something, travel is like, okay, don't take a flight and go and all this. Life gives you a lot of opportunities. Today, tomorrow, you're coming from pharmaceutical backgrounds, nurses, we've got pharmacy students and all. So what happens is, life gives you a lot of opportunities tomorrow. You will have chances to travel. I think by the time I even finished my engineering, I was traveling. I already have traveled many. But after I started and doing my engineering, life gave a lot of opportunities. I started to travel. I started to meet different types of people. Business was never a part of my plan. But I traveled. Travel actually gave me a lot of emotions with people. I understood cultures. I understood people. I understood what is respect. I understood. I feel like India is a country where people are so confused about caste, creed, religion. So I understood what are the differences. There is how can we break the barriers? How can we be there? And today I employ a lot of people who come from different backgrounds. I have students who go and love me from different backgrounds. To be loved, you have to travel. Traveling is your own journey that you take chances to meet people, go to different places, go to different organizations, take seminars, attend people, shake hands, try to know a lot of things, but not sitting and watching your Instagram or YouTube shorts. It doesn't help much. Okay, now teaching, this is what I've done. My first class, was back in 2007. Now how I transformed. 2007, I started training, IELTS, which is called an English language exam to go overseas. I think most of the students actually know what is IELTS or GRE or TOEFL. So my first salary in 2007, the first time my first salary was 70,000. Would you imagine? Without even graduating, I took a salary of 70,000. That is when life changed. I did not know. Your capabilities is not about salary. Okay, sometimes some people have earned only 7,000 or 10,000. People gave me an opportunity. I wrote an exam. Somebody saw my scorecard and said, I think you should be good at teaching. You think? Yeah, then I attended someone like people who were already working in industries. My first batch was 180 nurses. Straight 180 nurses were going to the UK. First batch from, I think, St. Anne's and Manipal College. So we had this batch come there. I trained 180 people at a go. All of them are like 3-4 years or 5 years elder to me. And the first day, someone called me, sir, is my victory. I'm like, I don't know about it. But salary did not play an important role. Sometimes you might be small, sometimes you might be younger than many people. It doesn't matter. So you will have a chance to give some knowledge to someone. That is when you are identified. I'm telling you again, remember this. You not answering in an interview or talking to your friends doesn't matter. Sometimes you give some information to someone. Only when you talk to someone, people understand this girl or this person is better than me, or she's better than many people, or this boy is better than many people. That is when opportunities come. So you have to always remember to share your knowledge. Don't talk that what you don't know. Talk what you know. So the more you talk, the more you enhance your skills. Life will give a lot of opportunities. Like inspire and motivate. This is part of it. Okay. Always, doesn't matter how you hit. Even if it is an enemy, you don't talk to them. You have to always make sure that you should not have the art of jealousy, or you should not have something called, oh my god, this guy is more or she's earning more. It doesn't matter. Life could turn upside down, and life could give you anything at any point of life. Okay? And always remember, wherever you're in your life, I've seen the biggest problems is I've seen people get heart attacks in 30 years, 27 years, 28 years, 19 years, 20 years. I'm telling you, always remember, guys, with the change in the world, I've seen this. I've seen this with my own experience. It's very important. Keep yourself fit, because the world is changing so rapidly that we are seeing different kinds of things. So many different kinds of things. So always keep yourself active, however old you are. Okay, I'm almost close to 36, 37 now, but I play 3-4 hours sport, at least 5-6 hours sport a week, or maybe I play a full day of cricket on a weekend. I keep myself and my organs active. This is very important for you to make sure, because physical health is your mental health. Nobody knows that. People think that, okay, I am mentally fit, I look fit, it's not that. Your physical health will give you a lot of complete your organs, and of course, you know that. Make sure you keep yourself at least little active. Can you go to the next one? Alright, what's next? Everybody is super confused. What is next? What should I do? Now, how many people in this room, as I said, what is your goal? Everybody talks about the job. You know what my goal was? When somebody asked me a goal, I think I told about, this is about 18 years ago, we had a discussion. My goal was to keep myself happy. Guys in this room, many people, I'm telling you, everybody in this room are capable. Everybody in this goddamn room, you will get the best jobs, you will get salaries. Everybody, most of you will own cars, most of you will buy houses, most of you will have great lives. But do remember, there is something called happiness which we have to find, and I have seen many people who are struggling in life, who are not finding happiness and still struggling. Some people, I know friends of mine who are earning 1 crore salaries, 1.2 crore salaries, already having their blood pressure, sugars, having all these diseases. Nobody is happy working 24 hours. Guys, whatever your profession is, your ultimate goal, your question is, are you happy? If you think you're earning so much, but still you're happy, just walk out. I'm telling you, this is out of experiences, because I was a graduate like you. I walked the colleges like you, and I came out. I've seen people fail, succeed, and do all of that. And if you are not happy, to remember this, because it doesn't, your life doesn't help. Many of us will not live more than 60, 65. So half of the life is gone for sleeping, half of it is gone for eating. And we've got very less time to live a life and be happy. So do remember, always remember, every time you are doing anything, ask the question, am I happy? Only after that you do anything. Next one. Alright, I've got a few people here in this room. We'll go into the question sessions a little later. So I've heard that the first session we have got nurses, we've got pharmacy and pharmaceutical backgrounds, which we consider in terms of jobs as the same category. So these are the courses that I say. Now let's talk about the exposure that I have got. I've got hundreds of my students who have settled abroad in terms of pharmacy, pharmaceutical background, and nurses. I've got like millions of friends across the globe, because we do a lot of placements and I've got traveled a lot. So I actually have seen, how many of you are nurses here? I mean, like studying nursing? All the nursing? Okay, wonderful. To each and everyone, guys, I had special experiences with the nurses. I don't know, I mean, like, I'm not discriminating the pharmaceutical, I tell you the importance. If doctor is the God, the nurse is the wish. So without the wish, the God cannot grant anything. So what I will say is, I've seen, because during COVID we did extensive service all over the world. All over the world. I was stuck in some other country. I had to travel to other countries, and I've seen the efforts that have been put by nurses. I actually have lost a couple of my friends in Australia who died due to COVID, because of the nursing. I think the greatest, one of the best things, what people, I think, what you people do is like not even 1% of what we can do. So thank you for actually choosing a profession, and thank you for having the heart to actually go tomorrow and looking after us. I think what you are doing is something that maybe not even 0.1% in the world does. I think it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Thank you very much. So what are the courses that we've got for pharmaceuticals? What I'm going to talk first. Guys, these are some things in pharmacy and pharmaceuticals. Now these are some extra courses and specializations that will actually make you special or different from other people. The courses that come are health outcomes. So the pharmaceutical background people and the pharmacy background people. Do remember this. Health outcomes is the subject. So what happens when different types of medication is given, or different types of formula acts, is different types of degrees. These are different from the general education that you are actually doing now. Okay? Now you have other thing called global clinical and pharmacovigilance regulations. This is one of the highest paid jobs in the world that people don't even know about. You know what is the vigilance? It's nothing but, if something is given extra in type of dose, you know what happens, right? What happens if extra anesthesia is given? Do you know? What happens? Coma. Okay, coma, people can even die. So pharmaceutical people are the people who actually design the doses, who actually make sure how and how much should it work, and they actually look after the proper proportion, they look at the quality of the chemical, they look after everything. A physician assistant's medicine is nothing but, you people will come across in the life, because you will have, if people in this room, some people have the chance, you will have the chance to prepare a medicine in the operation theatre itself using different chemicals, and that is one of the most R&D in the world, research and development, and many people are there in the labs doing this. The pharmacology and physiology, of course, I think you know, it's almost just a normal extension of your course to make you specialize in that. And pharmacy leadership and administration, the highest sought out jobs in countries like the United States, special countries like Canada and Luxembourg, United Kingdom. So this is nothing but all the people who manage hospitals and who know completely about the pharmaceutical backgrounds, they are equally paid as much as they are paid in terms of doctors. So this is something that many people do not know. Let's go to the next one. So, do you know these are the jobs that you can apply for? These are the jobs that you can apply. If you can see, quality analyst and control, team member production, regulatory affairs and development, R&D senior executive, R&D scientist. An R&D scientist from your branch gets paid close to 25-30 lakhs in the government sector today. So you people know that you can apply for different types of jobs that you don't even know. So these are all there. Lead business development. We've got quality assurance manager. This is what many people simply do. Most of the people just say, okay, I got a job at Divi's or I got a job at Reddy's Laboratory. This is what people do. The quality assurance manager. Now R&D chemist, research and development is almost close to a scientist. But a lot of people are happy with what they actually learn and what they implement. You know the job called a drug controller, the implementation process. Clinical manager is something that has a group of hundreds of hospitals and you manage that. A clinical scientist is almost equal to an R&D scientist or R&D chemist. Can you go to the next one? Now, the highest demand for you people is in these countries. So this is the opportunities that are there. United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Dubai, Germany, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark. If people migrate to these countries, the chance of you guys coming back is zero. If you guys get an admission or if you guys settle down in these countries, the chance of you coming back is zero. You will have pretty secure life. Now, why do we go overseas? A simple question, okay? We come from, all of us, most of us come from middle class backgrounds. To make it better life for us, to make it a better lifestyle for our parents or for our family, we choose to go overseas and we actually get betterment of our knowledge because most of us here get academic knowledge, there we have practical and theoretical knowledge as well. Of course, here we have a lot of practical, but there we have direct implementations. You work with the teams, you work with the people who are already working in the sector, so you have direct exposure to the industry. That is one reason why these countries. So do remember if you have anything, okay, I want to do something overseas. If people step into the United States, Canada or Australia on this job, forget it, your life is settled. I'm not saying go, but that is what happens. Next. Now, we have got registered nurses, okay. The highest demand for registered nurses is in these sectors. So if you want to specialize, if you want to pick up something in your life, BSc, or if you want to train something after you finish your education or during your education, these are the most in demand in the market: aged care, child and family health, community health, critical care and emergency, development disability and rehabilitation. Of course, you know, aged care is for elderly people, child and family health is when a child is being born. So that's more about gynecology and the mother and that son. Community health is nothing but a group of community people that you take care together, or a sector that is being, for example, you take 100 people that are all diagnosed with the same kind of issue like gastroenteritis or something that happens. Community health comes under that. Critical care and emergency, everybody knows what happens when serious accidents, burns, 30 burns happen. Then development disability is about people who are mentally and physically disabled. Disability and rehabilitation is because if somebody is injured, like sports people are injured, anything happens, you play a very important role to actually help them to recover from the disability, and the rehabilitation is nothing but help them to regain everything. Now, medical practice is nothing but supporting, as it's just you're a normal nurse supporting medical doctors, so it's not a very tough job but very high on demand. I really don't know what is perioperative, but do anybody know? Anybody knows? Okay. Perioperative is nothing but, it is not a complete medical operation that you do, but you are able to operate on certain things without the support of a doctor. That is the basic knowledge that you've got. Nurses give lives is perioperative. In surgical, you know what is surgical? Doing the surgical support, and pediatrics is about children. Yes. So, nurses, wherever you are in the world, there is demand. No questions, we are short of good people like you. So the demand is very high, and these are the top paying countries, and they have a lot of opportunities. And even I don't say India doesn't need it, India does have. I'm talking about the global opportunities because I have been global for a long time. Highest demand is Australia, followed by the United States of America, Canada, New Zealand, Denmark, Norway, Switzerland, Ireland, UK, Luxembourg, Germany, Dubai, and Israel. These have a very high demand, guys. So wherever you are, it's going to be tough to get a job. See, every year thousands of people get out of the education system. So it's more about creating that good competition, creating. So I've given you some ideas about what are the expertise that we have got in this kind of stuff. So it's important to make sure that you plan your careers in that way. Can you go to the next one? The next one? Alright. That's all I've got to talk about overseas. So now what we'll do is, if you people have got any questions, so my experience, I told you, I've traveled across the world, I've seen everything in your careers. I've seen nurses, I've seen pharmaceutical people, I've seen pharmacy people. I've had friends in those industries. I have them in India. I've got anything. Any of you got any doubts regarding those, or if you've got any questions that you want to ask, you're more free and welcome to ask about it. And after the question and answer session, I'll quickly conclude. So anybody has any questions? It's very important to ask questions. The boys are so shy. Any questions? This is about your careers. Any questions? I think the room, I understand one thing is all the girls have a plan already, yes? The girls are planning to get married, that's it? That is the story, no questions come. Maybe the men are not talking because they are dominated by the women in this room. That's fine. So girls don't have any questions. Any questions, girls? Any questions? No? Yes or no? No? Is it clear, or do you want to ask anything else? So, yes, please, thank you. Yes. Pharmaceutical engineering and jobs. Where? In India or outside? In India or outside? Okay. We talk about pharmaceutical engineering, you're saying. Okay. The pharmaceutical engineering is one of the newly integrated systems into the medical industry because of what has happened due to COVID. So what happened is, pharmaceutical engineering is something that actually has started its research in scientist organizations across the world, and you people will be in demand for the next 200 years. The reason being, the world is getting prepared for the next eventual worst thing to happen. So the amount of research that is being done in that industry will be almost equal. So you'll have a panel of doctors, you'll have a panel of nurses, you'll have a panel of pharmacists, pharmaceutical engineers, you have pharmaceutical heads and all of those. Most of your involvement in the near future will be more into R&D and development, and it will be also more into understanding the behavior of humans towards different silicon-induced substances, about what vaccines are and all that. So if you are asking me about jobs, every laboratory in the world, like take bigger laboratories like Gorovich or Seaside or Pfizer, or take about Johnson & Johnson, they are having the highest number of pharmaceutical engineers in their industry, or even the pharmacy people in the industry, and they have increased their intake by close to 700% from 2020. So you can imagine how much demand it is there. The problem actually you guys face is you do not know how to do it. You do not know where to search for your job, because India doesn't have a proper job market. That is what we have understood. So the research industry. So if you people actually, there is a visa called a global talent visa in Australia. A global talent visa is a visa that is given to people who earn more than $170,000 a year in Australia, and they have like field experience. Like the field experience has to be very high. Their exposure to the market has to be very high. Two pharmaceutical engineering category people got the visa in one or 2 days, which normally takes about, to get a permanent residence in Australia takes about 3-4 years. People have got it in 2 days just because of the amount of certifications, the amount of research they have done in the laboratory, and the amount of exposure they have given for COVID. So people who actually get into the right industry at the start, they will have a wonderful career. You don't have to worry much about it. Absolutely. Yep. Any other questions, guys? I've got questions for anything you ask. Do you want to ask how is United States? Do you want to ask how is Australia? Do you want to ask how is UK? I can tell you. You don't see the word. At least you said all like jobs, and you're not telling me what is the salary rate? Is nobody asking what is the salaries you get. Salaries for nurses vary from, we'll talk in terms of US dollars, vary somewhere between 70,000 US dollars to even 200,000 US dollars, which you can calculate 200 into 80 is almost 1 crore 60 lakhs in a year. That is what they earn with an experience of at least 2 to 3 years. That is what nurses earn. In pharmaceutical people, in terms of research development and in terms of being a scientist, you guys have phenomenal salaries. Nobody understands because the research has increased after the pandemic. Yes, any other question, guys? How was the session? Okay? Oh yeah, please. So, MTech is absolutely fine. I'll never say MTech is bad. That is like we call it masters. If does this college have MTech as well? Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just ask a casual question. No, my personal perspective is, if you're good enough for classes, it's fine. I'm just naturally saying. MTech, I don't want to go against your college or something, but MTech is good. But if you're doing a PhD, you could be a professor in one of the biggest colleges in the world, or any of the biggest colleges, because not many people, I think many people do PhDs, but doing PhDs from people who have already submitted more than 50 PhDs on their behalf is something that will actually make you more exposed into the market, and that will give you a very big global market. Research scholar. Research scholar is more into academic. What happens about a research scholar? A research scholar is a person who is more into the science of education. So what happens? You continue to educate students, but you being in the industry will come to a lesser point. Scholars are most of the people who train again. For example, the best professors or the best scholars are the people who go more into the academic side of it. You end up being a very big professor or something like that, but you will not, because the more time you spend on study, you don't spend on your research and everything. So scholars end up to be in more into academic side. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what it is. Boys, any questions? Anything else? How was the session? You want food? How is the session here? Good, bad, whatever. You liked it? Thank you for being such a lovely audience, guys. I ask you for only 2 things. Don't be shy like you are, because you need to be more confident in everything. So before we conclude and anything, if you got any doubts, always to remember, I might not be straight away available because I mostly deal with appointments most of the time. We have an office that can always help you with any kind of needs, or if you're confused about your careers or anything, just Google us and you can get to us. And if you actually, you guys know my name? Okay, I think they told you, right? I'm Chakravarti. They call me Chakravarti Mata. It's very easy to find me on the internet as well. So, what else we've got? That's it, boys and girls. Thank you very much for having a lovely session. I wish I could help you in the smallest ways or the minutest ways, and I hope this session actually gives you an impact in your careers. All the very best. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for empowering the students of Kits Engineering College, Ramchandra. I hope each and every student here has enjoyed the session. Did you really enjoy the session? Yes. What did you learn from the session? Any one of you can come forward to share your view. You're most welcome to speak in our mother tongue, Telugu. Did someone have a doubt regarding the session? So may I ask sir to ask you a few questions? Are you ready to answer?
If they're ready to answer, yes.
If you are ready to answer, sir is available to ask questions. How many of you are ready to answer the questions? people are so shy. Yeah. Here we have with us a beloved student Akasha from 2nd PHE to have a question. I hope you'll get the answer. Sir, she wants you to ask a question.
So, guys, I have only one question is, okay, you already given me your feedback, right? So the question is, how you being like, because you stood up, I will take you as a student representative. So as a student representative, how would you rate this session? And how do you think it is different from all the sessions that you have ever taken so far?
First of all, like out of all the sessions what we had until now from RNH, I find this is very productive because this is the only session which gave us a clear information about our branch pharmaceutical engineering, which I was very interested basically. Out of the courses what you just said, actually I was planning for regulatory affairs, what my father also preferred for me to do. So out of all the sessions, I found this very productive, and on a scale of 10, I would rate it 10 because it is very much useful for my career.
Thank you guys, thank you very much once again. Have a lovely day, bye.
Thank you, Ms. Akasha, for opening your heart. And it's Engineering College from Chandrapur, post to serve. Sir's name is? Do you always remember him? Would you like to have him further? Yes, sir. Our students are eager to have you furthermore. We would like to have you sooner again. And thank you so much for sparing your valuable time with us. And I also thank all the team members who have accompanied this session. Thank you one and all.